Welcome to the second episode of Sniper Showdown, a series where I compare some NERF sniper rifles against each other in a generic competition. We've all seen those before. In our last episode, we compared two N-strike snipers, the only two that I know of, being the long shot, not this one is good, and the long strike. Now everyone's going to hate me because I said something bad about the regular NERF long shot. Just cut that out. But ultimately, the long shot came out on top due to its performance being better because it doesn't have a terrible reverse plunger mechanism. Again, not this one. This one's even better because it's different in its own way. And its modability. Now, let's get to know today's contestants. First up, we have the Raptor Strike, which is a blaster in the AccuStrike series, which shoots regular elite-style darts in a 6-dart capacity, because snipers only use 6-round mags. Duh. Its greatest flaw is its lack of and inability to have a scope, which is the worst idea to ever put on a sniper rifle, because all kids want is a scope on their sniper rifle. So automatically remove a point for that. Next up, we have my most recently obtained blaster, the Mega Centurion. The Mega Centurion is a Mega Dart blaster that has a capacity of 6 rounds. It does not come with a scope, and we'll soon have a review video. Whenever I want to make that. I'm too lazy anyway. We'll see. The Centurion is the only blaster here firing Mega Darts, which is obviously what you would choose, because snipers only use higher calibers. Last but not least is our returning champion, the one and only N-Strike long shot. The long shot is a long shot, which needs no introduction because it is a long shot. And if you are a sniper, you are going to use the long shot at least 1 point because it's a long shot. Now let's get to my opinion on these blasters in appearance. Things will fit in frame all the way up. There we go. This is the Raptor Strike. I did a review on it pretty recently. This part of the video is unscripted, by the way, as you can tell by the fact that I don't have the 1,000-yard stare staring up there at the script on my computer monitor. Well, this bipod looks kind of stupid on it. It is one of my favorite bipods, but that looks a lot cooler. Now, the worst part of this is, you may see how smooth and flat on top it is. That's nice, right? Where's the tactical rail? Where's my scope? Like, you're telling me I can't just, like... I can't just put that on there or something? Probably not that scope, because I don't look stupid. But, like, I can't put a scope on my blaster. Let me see if I can get that thing back on here. That's the scope from the long shot. Its magazine fits in here. It came with a cool slanted magazine, but I lost mine. So, yeah. I guess you can put a magazine in the back too, because you're a sniper and, you know, when you're firing, you're going to want to, like, tactical reload, you know? I also stole that mag from the long shot. I guess it's kind of comfortable if you had a scope, but instead, no. We just get this little grenade launcher thing that distorts all your vision. And also my least favorite part, this prime feels so cheap. It's just awful. I forgot these were loaded. Yeah, the entire thing feels kind of cheap. I mean, it's still solid, but like, you can hear that, right? Yeah, that just seems cheap. And also mine is like yellowed here. That is supposed to be this color orange. It's just that wore out. But that's not really a fault of the blaster. And also the front looks kind of stupid because it just looks like a pistol they made, but like bigger. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe even harder to fit in frame. It's that big. It didn't actually come with this scope, so we're going to take that off. And it didn't come with this strap, so we're also going to have to take that off. Never mind, the strap might be broken. It's permanently on there. Right? There we go. Mega Centurion, obviously, if you couldn't tell, it's a Mega Dart blaster. It uses this huge magazine, which holds 6 rounds, by the way, because snipers only use 6 rounds. But, like, if you're going to be a sniper, you gotta use this thing, because, like, this thing looks like a 50 cal magazine or something. Or even bigger. Like, why should I use these puny little darts when I could be firing this dart? Like, you know it's big because I could fit this dart inside of this dart, and that doesn't look very good out of context, but I'm going to fire with these because I have a lot of these, but also some of these, which are, like, better in every single way. You'll see how these, like, just go off to the side and all over the place, and that just goes straight, but that's not the blaster, that's the dart. But this thing is big. This also came in red, but this is the only version I have. I bought it literally yesterday for $2. I guess this one's cool because I can see the loose piece of plastic in the back. You hear it rattling around in there. This thing feels like an anti-tank rifle. Like, especially that, even though, spoiler alert, it has a reverse plunger system, like the last, well, loser of the last competition, so its performance is going to suck compared to these other ones, but that's a ridiculously long prime. Like, why? And then it actually has a bit of, like, it's got a big kick to it. It's like recoil, that's the word. Sorry, I'm stupid. It's got a bit of recoil. It's like, it's pretty cool. It feels like you're shooting something powerful, even though it only goes like 30 feet. You got this massive blaster. It's got this huge unnecessary barrel. The blaster ends like here, and then they just have all that for cosmetics. And the plastic they used up here is very thin. As you see, mine has gotten cracked on both sides, and that's how the plastic even broke off. I think I actually have it sitting around here. No, I did it somewhere around here. I plan on gluing that back. And it did come with a bipod. I don't have it. It's a pretty terrible looking bipod. It didn't come with a scope, but it has the benefit of, well, as you saw earlier, I can just put a scope on there if I own it, like this extra long shot scope I have, and that looks slightly better. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but as we'll see, its coolness gets ruined by other capabilities it has or doesn't have. It also doesn't fit in frame. It's a long shot. An original long shot. I paid $20 for this. The most I've ever spent for a used blaster. Probably wasn't worth it, but I haven't seen any others of these in thrift stores. I've had a better condition one before that I don't have anymore. It's why I have 2 long shot magazines, which are just regular magazines but in yellow. Guess which one came with this one? Did you guess the filthy one? Because yes, it's the filthy one. This one came from a long shot I had, almost brand new condition, and I don't have it anymore. But hey, the stock collapses in case you're... Did I just break it? There we go. In case you're like that small, which is nobody's going to want to use that. In fact, that's even slightly small, but good enough. I love how they had to put this scope so high up to make it actually fit with your eye line, yet it is that far above the barrel, where even if this thing did shoot far enough, like, you don't need a scope to use this thing. You should not be using a scope for this thing. Although this is the coolest scope ever made, like, see that optic in there? That's like super cool. It's very snipery. It's the ultimate sniper scope. Bolt action. It sounds powerful, but it's not actually that powerful. Also, mine came without that, so that's nice. It does have a bipod, so it automatically gets a point above the Centurion. Should obviously get a point for that, because it has a bipod. In fact, we should give the other one, what was that called? The Raptor Strike, stupid name. We should give that a point too, because it also came with a bipod, although we should subtract a point from it, so it's still at 0 for not being able to have a scope. In fact, why don't we add another point for this thing coming with a scope, because neither of the other ones came with a scope. This entire attachment is stupid. I hate this. Everyone hates this. Like, you want to know what you should do if you want a better barrel attachment with an underbarrel thing? You take a retaliator barrel, and then you take a Mega Magnus, and you just cut the handle off of that, and like glue it to the bottom of the retaliator barrel, and then you have like a much better underbarrel thing like this, and it shoots mega darts, which we already said here earlier are much better because they're like so much bigger and scarier and snipery, and it holds 3 of them inside because it's a Magnus. I mean, honestly, on the outside, this thing does not look like a sniper rifle. When you look at this, if you didn't know what this is, if you took a child who had never seen Nerf gun before, showed them this, would they say, ooh, sniper? Or compare that to like this. They'd look at this and they would say, ooh, sniper, because that looks like a sniper rifle. That looks like kind of like a sniper rifle if it weren't for the scope. Put the scope on that in there. And this looks like a blaster from Star Wars almost. I don't hate the long shot, it's a really good blaster, but gotta admit, this does not look like a sniper rifle at all. Now, let's get to the firing demo. Starting off with the Raptor Strike. And that is how that one shoots. Honestly, better than I thought. Next up's the Centurion. This is going to start with regular Mega Darts. Then we're going to move to AccuStrike darts. Oh, this is going to suck. Don't even turn on the barrel. Oh, the problem happened. So there's this issue with this thing where sometimes when you pull it back, it doesn't go back all the way, and then it does this to your dart. It always comes out like that. That is an amazing thing to do. This is actually the worst I've seen the darts. That has been a frequent problem with this thing. All right, now let's get back to it. I swear, if it just did that again. Oh my God, it did it again. This might just be a skill issue, but like twice in a row, and this has happened a lot. This is starting to turn into an issue. There we go. Did it even come out the barrel? No, it did not. These things always fail when I'm on video. Look at what it did to that dart. I haven't seen this blaster fail this much yet. You know what? Being a Mega Dart, I could bet, we can bump that right out. We're shooting that again. I don't care what it does. I've already had to repair this thing before because it came used. It just did the problem. I don't know what the problem is that causes this, but I'm gonna move on to the next darts, I guess. This is what happens when it only comes with one magazine. And the magazines for the Mega Blasters only came with Mega Blasters. You can't get these things easily because they only came with flagship blasters. I can't wait to see how infinitely better this is. Using this wrong. one time it primed, it did that again. This has never been this unreliable. Am I just doing it wrong or what? That just destroyed every single Mega AccuStrike dart I own. I don't have any more of these darts. I have never heard of this happen. Is this just an issue with the one I have? Because this is fired flawlessly. Like, this has been working flawlessly other than that one issue, which was a lot more rare until I started this video. Like, oh my god, it happened again. Is this just a side effect of... I feel like this might just be a side effect of how ridiculously long the priming bolt is. Ow. And now it's not even firing the dart now. When I got this thing yesterday, I fired it for the first time knowing it would suck because I've heard terrible stuff about it, like its range is abysmal. And I was like, wow, this thing's slightly better than I thought. It shot like 45 whole feet, which isn't a lot, but it's further than that. In fact, even with the right time, I got it to shoot like 60, 70 feet, which isn't very far again. But for a Mega Dart and for a blaster that's reverse plunger, that seemed good. Then this piece of plastic in the back came loose, which is still loose in there. I had to move it out of the way too by jamming a screwdriver in there because that blocked the mechanism. There's too many screws to take the thing apart easily and fix that. And then that issue that we just saw started happening with this thing. That was on purpose, so you know. That issue started happening. There's nothing wrong with this magazine from what I could tell. It seems fine. They reused the design like 3 times by now. And like this thing was, I was having a lot of fun. I fired like a lot of rounds through this thing, and I previously only had that issue happen like maybe 3 or 4 times, which is a lot for a blaster, but this was a very experimental blaster. And then this just happened like 8, 9 times out of like, how many darts was that? 11 darts, like 8 or 9 out of 11 darts. It just completely failed. This automatically loses the competition. Like this thing's disqualified from the competition. That is completely abysmal performance. I don't know if it's actually this bad. If I get another one in the future, we are doing a different video. Car went by, I'm repeating that in case you didn't hear it. If I get another one of these in the future, which I plan to, the red one, we are going, or I'd take an air blue one, anything that works. I'm going to make a video and see how easy it is to replicate this issue. Maybe it's just my problem because this priming slide is so ridiculously oversized. That is not how long your priming bolt needs to be. Maybe on this blaster they thought that would be a good idea, but that's ridiculous. And it's so easy to mess up like that. I've never seen another dart blaster where it's that easy to mess up with this. I cannot believe this. I did pay $2 for this. It seems to work other than that. I'm done with this thing for today. We're coming back to that like in a different video. Let's just move on to the long shot. It better work, or this video might just be over. I can't wait to see how much better this other revolutionary blaster, being its first magazine-fed blaster, I can't wait to see how much better it does, despite being from 2006. We're removing this, by the way, because it's not part of the blaster we need. Can't wait to see how much better it works. Going with this without the scope. Albeit, I'm doing this without a scope, so my aim probably sucks. There we go. If I use the scope, it's a little better. Back to the reload. So I get to see that one because I'm annoyed with the other blaster.
from 2006. The first magazine-fed blaster. This was a new concept. In fact, this one's so wore out, it probably is from 2006, this one. And it works flawlessly. I just fired 2 magazines of darts of a completely different design than it was supposed to be. Waffle head darts, but I mean, we know those work anyway. And it worked flawlessly. You can't argue that the Mega Centurion is like failing because it was the first magazine-fed Mega Dart Blaster. This was the first magazine-fed Elite Dart Blaster, and it worked perfectly fine. We're definitely, this one wins just for that. The fact, like, I don't care how the Raptor Strike did. This is the blaster. Albeit it's a magazine-fed Jolt reskin, as everyone argues, but nothing beats this thing. This is like perfection. We don't count this part. This part doesn't matter. We don't touch this part. We always remove it or replace it with something else. This is like perfect. Just replace the magazine with a bigger one, and it can even be like a pretty decent rifle. I thought it broke, but it didn't break, because like it's that hard to break. It's like perfect. The performance isn't even that terrible for something from 2006. No one's car needs to be that loud. But anyway, this thing is like, it's perfect. It doesn't feel cheap and flimsy like the other one. It feels a lot more solid. It doesn't break instantly like the Centurion there, which completely failed, and I've already had to repair it since I bought it. I don't know if this is every Centurion again. Mine's kind of beat up. You don't like the design of this bipod, you could easily take it out. In fact, they sell versions of it without the bipod. The Zombie Strike version is great. This thing, it can be anything. You can mod it into almost anything. I can't believe what happened with the Centurion there. And then this blaster, way older, just works perfectly fine. What do you know? That shows how much worse this company's gotten over time with their products. When you make something that works as poorly as the Centurion, but looks this cool, it's just a disgrace. Because the long shot works perfectly, but like, this thing looks so cool. There's mosquitoes out here that are like biting me and such, so I'm gonna go in soon. This thing looks amazing. It feels awesome to use. Well, this part may be annoying by how long it is. Sometimes it feels cool. It may not be battle effective at all. It does that thing. How cool is that? But its performance is terrible. And it has that issue that just... I don't know what to say about this thing. It's just... It's a disaster. Well, let's just get to the ending of the video. When I got this thing, I was excited about it. I was like, I know the performance isn't going to be the best, but this thing looks awesome. Feels awesome. In fact, I bet if you put a decent enough spring upgrade in it, a couple upgrades and mods and stuff, it could be really cool and really fun. And I brought it home and fired it, and I was like, this isn't even as terrible as I thought. It still sucks, but it's better than I thought. I fired a lot of shots through this thing, and I had a lot of fun, and found out that issue happened, and it just happened so terribly. I mean, I only paid, you may be like, oh, but I only paid $2 for this thing, so of course it should suck. The thing costed like $50 when it came out. It was a flagship blaster. In fact, this one was even more expensive because this one was a Toys R Us exclusive, and it's transparent colors, so we could see everything that's wrong with it on the inside. It looks awesome. People have done amazing things with the shells of these and mods, but they never really use the blaster internals because it sucks. In fact, one of the biggest things people have tried to do is convert it to shoot regular elite darts. At least so I've heard. Now, this thing, it's just, I don't know what to say anymore. It's very disappointing. It's one of the biggest disappointments I've had in a blaster. If you would ever use any of these, which you should not use any of these stock, just choose the long shot. Take off that thing. You don't even need the scope. The scope's just for style points. Just take out that magazine and try to get a replacement around here in reaching distance. 1 second. Just pop in like an 18 round stick mag. Take that off because it's just style, you don't even need it. And that's perfectly fine. This blaster, it's great. In fact, one of the first real rifle blasters I got in elementary school, and it was the Zombie Strike long shot. I bought the thing at a thrift store for like $8, and it worked flawlessly until I tried to modify it, and I couldn't figure out how to put it back together because I lost some parts to it. That was a bit of a disappointment, but that's my fault. This thing, it's like, it's perfect. It's like one of the best blasters you could find out there. I think I broke it, never mind. That's just because mine's a little wore out. I don't even know how it broke there. Yeah, see, works perfectly fine. This thing's reliable, it works. Mine's a little wore out, but I did buy it for $20, which I guess for a long shot that's kind of low, kind of high, because I got a flea market. But like when I see these things at thrift stores, I get them because I know it'll probably work. If it doesn't work, I can easily fix it. It's a simple design, unless you're counting taking these things off, which you have to like pry off with a screwdriver. But that's Hasbro's fault. This blaster, it's just perfection. Nothing beats the long shot. This blaster I got it for $5. It's in like brand new condition. It's pretty much what you got here. And I mean, honestly, what do you expect? It's a toy sniper rifle that feels very much like a toy. It has like weird cosmetic stuff, but it's just not really useful in battle. It's just a thing you get for fun. Like, sure, it's reliable enough, it works, but like, it's literally just every small, like, there's much smaller, much better options that do the same thing as this. Like, this is literally just a tri-strike in a fancy cosmetic skin. In fact, I'd argue this doesn't even look that good. Like, everything from here forward just looks terrible. Like, the stock is alright. This thing is just meh. And I guess this has been the second episode of Sniper Showdown. I hope y'all never try to use any of these blasters stock in the battlefield. In fact, I hope none of y'all ever use any of these except for like a modded long shot. That's the only one I would ever recommend. But I hope y'all have a good time and stay tactical. I really hope I didn't just steal that from other popular YouTubers. FBI, open up!